Okay, guys, so we're going to go through a couple of examples of the characterization from the third extract first. Now, if you are looking at your extract and you don't have these examples, annotate them onto your um, extract as well as the ones that you do have, because they will help you when we come to do some work on this story. So the first detail that we're looking at is this action that Judson's wife carries out. She pleads with him. All they did was to steal a little liquor. She pleaded. Now, if someone's pleading, they're trying to get you to change your mind, and there is a sense of desperation. She is desperate to get him to change his mind. So his wife seems extremely concerned, which suggests that he has a history of similar behavior. She's so desperate, and it's the word pleaded that tells us that because he seems to have a history of behaving in this way. So the verb pleaded is an action that his wife carries out that reveals that he has a history of similar behavior. Second detail that we're looking at here are these lines that Judson himself says. If a man holds me up and robs me of $5, it makes me just as sore as if he took 100. Now, this is obviously a saying of his, but what this shows us is that he is what we'd call a moral absolutist. He thinks in black and white categories, that if someone is stealing, they are worthy of being punished by death. And it suggests that he's extremely unforgiving. And actually, we might want to add to this, simplistic in his thinking. This is a very simplistic way of understanding the world and morality, that if someone does something wrong, that they should be punished with the most extreme form of punishment, and that there is only right and wrong. There aren't any kind of shades of grey in the middle of black and white. So he is this moral absolutist that can only think in clear yes, no, black and white categories. It suggests how unforgiving he is. Another detail further down. His wife says to him, suppose something happens to us and no one knows. And his response, he chuckled once more at her earnestness. Chuckling is a kind of a little understated, kind of small laugh that he laughs to himself, which is obviously an action that he carries out. But this is revealing to us that he doesn't take her concerns seriously. He's dismissive of her. We could add that if you wanted to use that phrase. He's dismissive of her concerns. But also, he adopts a very casual attitude to murder. He's plotting murder here and is laughing at himself, which suggests that he has a very casual attitude to what is, a capital sin. Then, and a further detail that is really important but very subtle, he talks about his wealth. I've made my pile, I should say, by taking chances. If I should drop dead, you can do as you please. The stuff will be yours. This is obviously a saying that he articulates here. But what this suggests is that he thinks that all she's bothered about is his possessions, and that he's extremely materialistic and lacks feeling. He thinks that his wife is only interested in because he has possessions and money. And so there's a complete absence of emotional connection in the way that he thinks about their relationship. The next one is a description of her thoughts. He'd always been ruthless in business, and whenever anything crossed him, things had to be done his way. And this is his wife's thought. What this shows is that he's domineering and inflexible. He can't do anything anyone else's way. It's only his way or the highway. And so this domineering and inflexible characteristics in his personality are what we see here. And then very finally, his wife makes up her mind to tell Alex's wife, the person who looks after his cabin, because someone had to know. She needs to do this to stop herself from feeling guilty. And then he just simply says, okay, my dear. And then he smiled genially. Genially here he means as if he's being pleasant and kind. But again, it's both a saying, he speaks here, and then an action. These lines, if you take them out of this context, sound like a very pleasant human being. Someone that's very saying forgiving, understanding lines like, okay, my dear. And then smiling genially seems like he's doing something nice. But this is extremely malicious. It's extremely hostile because he's gaining pleasure from the idea of the suffering of others. So he's thinking really hard here about what is going to happen to this potential thief and gaining a great deal of pleasure out of this suffering. So if we take a look overall at the extract, there's many details here that we can comment on. We've got in total, she pleaded. This one here, the second one, if a man holds me up and robs me of $5, it makes me just as sore as if he took 100. The third one, he chuckled once more at her earnestness. The fourth one, the stuff will be yours. This one, things had to be done this way. And then the sixth one, okay, my dear, he smiled genially. So there's 6 details that you can comment on in this third extract.